Hello, my name is Ali, and welcome to my channel. We are back with Hakuoki Kyoto Win to Nagakura's route. Now I will say, I'm trying to figure out, is he going to ever drink the water of life, or is he going to be like Harada, because they have the same mindset on the water of life, and is he just going to choose not to? I wonder if Nagakura will. Let's go. Could I be a samurai too? His eyebrows shot up, but instead of dismissing me, he seemed to be considering it seriously. His voice was matter-of-fact when he replied.
Yeah, I think if it was you, you could do it.
I heard no laughter in his tone. He was being sincere. But then, Kondo shook his head slowly.
However, it's enough that you feel that way. You are a kind girl, and my greatest wish for you is that you will be able to return to a normal life and be happy. This is no life for you.
A normal life. There was no doubt in his eyes that I would have that someday, and the smile he gave me was warm. I was at a loss for words. To think that he was so kind that he would wish my future was a happy one, despite my being a demon causing trouble for the Shinsengumi. Tears threatened to spill over, but I rapidly blinked, determined to hold them back. The hours passed, and soon enough, night came. I had finished my cleaning and was taking a moment to rest in my room. A brand new headquarters. A new room. Our headquarters had changed and expanded, matching the Shinsengumi's growth itself. But increasing in number is not always a good thing. The more people there were under one banner, the less likely all of them would hold the same beliefs and ideals. There would be differences and conflicting opinions, just like what happened with Ito and his men. But I didn't want the Shinsengumi to change. Kondo's dream sounded wonderful, and I could see it coming true because of the men that had surrounded him. With those thoughts in my head, my first night in the Fudodu headquarters slowly passed. Come on. November 1867. Right now it's November. Just not 1867. A gust of wind stripped some of the last stubborn leaves from the trees and sent them skittering across the Kyoto street. It was cold, and it bit into me through my clothes. I shivered. It's almost winter, isn't it?
Yeah, the wind's gotten pretty cold lately. Still, we don't have it too bad during the day. I can't imagine how cold it gets for the night guys.
He laughed as his breath turned like smoke. My fingertips were icy cold, and I blew my breath on them.
Are your hands cold? Would you like me to hold them?
No, I'm not that cold. I'll be fine. Oh. I'd noticed someone walking towards us.
Hey guys, ain't today great?
He is the only one not affected by the cold.
What? You're one to talk, man. Look at what you're wearing.
Their bickering might have looked odd to a passerby, but I knew it for the sign of deep friendship that it was.
Huh? What's up? Why are you grinning like that?
Probably thinks your face is funny, Shinpachi. You really ought to do something about that thing. No, it's just... I was just remembering when we met up like this before. Like the time we met Kaoru. It was with Okita and Heisuke then, though. More than 6 months had passed since Saito and Heisuke left to join the Guardians of the Imperial Tomb. Harada and Shinpachi's faces turned grim as I trailed off. I shook my head, hoping vainly to cast off unpleasant thoughts. I just mean, there's been so much going on lately. It makes me nostalgic.
The Shinsengumi has changed. Hell, so is the rest of the world.
Yes.
But man, who would have thought there would come a day where we'd be promoted to a Jikisan?
It was right around the time when we moved our headquarters to Fudodu Village, right? I remember there were a handful of people who said they were going to leave, and it was a big debacle. There is a distinction, though, between those who were able to leave the Shinsengumi and then those who were forced to enter the Fury Corps. Kondo seemed to be thrilled about becoming promoted to a Jiki-san, but how do you guys feel about this? I'm not really a fan.
Yeah, I didn't do all this work just so I could be a retainer for the shogun.
Oh my god, I'm sorry. I just got a text message from my husband. I had to say this because it's just so him. He sends me a text saying, video. A murder suspect continually breaks wind during interrogation. He goes, yeah, I don't think I need to watch that. I'm like, really? Yeah, that's what me and my husband send to each other. Crazy stuff like that. Anyway, let's keep going. Kondo's promotion had changed the Shinsengumi's relationship with the daimyo. Where before, we'd only been philosophically aligned with the shogun. Now, we answered directly to him. My tongue just was not going to say that sentence for some reason. Anyway, for some people, that was a serious problem. Rumors floated around as we began to move to our new headquarters. So, what's this going to change for us going forward? I heard that a few months ago that the imperial prince had become the new emperor. I think there was a restoration of imperial rule last month, right? Supposedly, the Tokugawa shogunate returned power from the government to the emperor, right?
Yeah, supposedly it was Ryoma Sakamoto's idea. I heard that, because of that, the Satsuma and Choshu are really pissed at him because they were going to use this opportunity to fight for power. Well, he already had a target on his back from the shogunate supporters, so now he's basically hated by every ronin in Japan. But then, now there's no just cause for the Satsuma and Choshu to start a war. So for now, I guess they're going to just keep things like they are for now. That's right. The shogunate is going to remain as it is, and the Tokugawa will still be the largest daimyo clan in Japan. Still, there's a chance of the Satsuma having something up their sleeves, but we have no way of knowing. Well, as long as the shogunate doesn't call their bluff, nothing's going to happen. I see. As I looked around the city, it seemed like he had a point. Nothing much seemed to have changed. Inns were still bustling with travelers, tea shops were still smelling delicious. You could still smell the burning incense from the temples scattered throughout the town. Life continued just as it always had, regardless of what the shogun was or wasn't doing. The city might look the same as it always had, but time flowed on regardless, and a great wave was coming that would carry all of us away. Oh, what the heck did I just do? Whoopsie, let's go back. I don't know why, I just thought it was the same thing. Whatever. I looked up at Nagakura, and something occurred to me that I hadn't thought of before. Before I realized what I was doing, I'd opened my mouth. And then you burped. No. I didn't realize you were so smart, Nagakura. You know a lot about politics. Didn't realize? Wait. Just what did you think of me? Let's continue our rounds. It's winter, which means it'll get darker faster. You're trying to dodge the question. There was a man named Ryoma Sakamoto. He was a ronin from the Tosa domain and had allied himself with the Satsuma and Choshu domains as well. For a time, the Kyoto Judiciary Commissioner, Mimawari Gumi, and even the Shinsengumi were desperate to find him. After his orchestration of the restoration of imperial rule, however, orders were passed down to leave him alone. I only had a general idea of who he was and what he'd done, but even I had figured out that he was an important person, so when I heard Inoue mention him, I listened. Ryoma Sakamoto has been assassinated. You serious, Jen? Do they know who did it? Sakamoto had a lot of enemies. Could have been imperialists or loyalists. Hell, it could have just been personal, in which case, my money's on Muru of Kishu. You think maybe they're looking at us for it? Damn. If the bastard was gonna get killed anyway, I should have done him in. That's, not very funny coming from you. In fact, weren't we specifically told to leave him alone?
I'd never met Sakamoto. In fact, I barely knew who he was, but I felt somehow that his death would shake the country to its core.
As you all know, there was a decision made far above us, and Kondo was ordered to leave Ryoma Sakamoto alone. Unfortunately, the rest of the country is unlikely to see it that way. A scabbard belonging to a member of the Shinsengumi was found at the scene of his death. There has been a request for an official inquiry.
A scabbard? Is that really enough evidence? If it isn't, I'm sure they'll just fabricate more. It's obviously a ruse. Who are they saying it belonged to anyway?
Actually, they say it was yours, Harada.
What? Really, Sano? Damn, wish you'd brought me with you. Knock it off, Okita. Besides, my scabbard's right here. Man, this is idiotic. If you're going to make shit up, do it better.
I don't suspect you, and neither does anyone here. Unfortunately, I doubt the rest of the nation will extend you the same courtesy. I imagine they're having trouble determining the real culprit. There was talk that Kyotaro Miura of the Kishu asked the Shinsengumi to kill Ryoma.
Miura. That was the man Nagakura had mentioned. He had some sort of personal quarrel with Sakamoto, which made him a suspect.
I'm sure there's plenty of people who'd love to pin this one on the Shinsengumi. But unless someone did it and lied about it, there's no way it was us.
Unless Sanon decided to go do a little work off the books. The room fell silent. How is Sanon these days? Our reputation is grisly enough, but even I think his night rounds are bad these days. It was true. Sanon was acting stranger and stranger. Although I didn't want to believe it, I had to admit it wasn't that difficult to imagine him doing something like that. When I passed him on occasion in the hallways, his eyes were dry and thirsty, as if he was always hungry for blood.
We'll have to be careful then. We can't let people learn about the Furies.
About that. Oh, hey Kondo. Hijikata. Oh, whoa.
Saito? What the hell are you doing here?
I thought I was dreaming for a second, but there was no doubt. The man who'd followed Kondo and Hijikata into the room was the man who'd left to join the Guardians of the Imperial Tomb, Saito himself.
Oh, hello, Saito. It's been a while. What happened to the guard?
What are you talking about, Inoue? There's no way Hijikata would allow anyone from the guard here. We're prohibited from even talking to them.
Ugh, just shut up, all right? Starting today, Saito's back in the Shinsengumi.
What?
What? Hold on a second there, Hijikata. We're glad he's back, but don't get me wrong, but what happened with the guard and Ito? You're mistaken, but understandably. I was never one of Ito's supporters. In fact, Saito joined Ito and his men as a spy under Toshi's direct orders.
And with that, everything suddenly made sense. They say that to fool your enemy, you must first fool your allies, and Saito had been doing just that.
What? Come on, Saito. It's not fair for you to go off and have fun without letting me in on it. Man, you just about scared the pants off me. Not cool, Kondo. This was all top secret. I'm sorry I had to keep it from all of you.
It was a surprise, to be sure, but I was glad we could have Saito back with us again. I gave him a tentative smile, but he only sighed and shook his head.
It's too early to feel relieved. The last 6 months in the guard have made it clear. Ito and his followers are going to take action against the Shinsengumi. What sort of action? Ito is going to expose the Fury Corps to discredit the shogunate. There's even talk that he's working with Satsuma to that end.
If the existence and creation of the monstrous Furies was to become public knowledge, the shogunate's reputation would be irreparably damaged, and the Shinsengumi would undoubtedly suffer as well. Even I could predict that. There's more. Ito plans to assassinate the chief of the Shinsengumi. You mean Kondo? Kondo's face was tense, but he kept silent. He glanced over at Hijikata.
The guard is moving to destroy the Shinsengumi. You've already heard about Sakamoto, right?
Yeah, some crap about me being the killer.
Right. Well, you have the Guardians of the Imperial Tomb to thank. They've been spreading the rumor that Kyotaro Miura of Kishu hired the Shinsengumi, and that Harada put the sword in him. Miura insisted that he didn't do it, but there may be dumbasses who believe the rumor may attack us. So, Saito's going to be guarding Miura for now. If it looks like he just left and then came back, it won't be too hard for Ito to put two and two together.
I understand. Until this matter is settled, it is better that I'm not seen here. Here Hijikata paused for a moment. The room was utterly silent. Every one of us could sense that what came next would be very, very important.
Kashitaro Ito. It's not enough for you to expose the Fury Corps. You have to try and kill Kondo too, huh?
He spoke quietly, almost to himself, as if sharing a final moment with a former comrade. Then he looked up, and when he spoke, his voice was like cold steel, the voice of the demon.
It's too bad it has to be this way, but we don't have a choice. Ito dies. I suppose you're right. It can't be helped.
Kondo nodded, and that was that. The Shinsengumi would kill Kashitaro Ito.
First, we'll invite Ito to Kondo's second home. I'll be there too. Once he's dead, we can use Ito's corpse to lure the rest of the guard to kill them. Nagakura, Harada, I'm assigning you and your divisions to this. Take care of it.
Hey, Hijikata! Who do you want me to kill?
No one. You're staying here in bed. You've still got that cough, don't you? You're sick. Saito will be here for a few days, so you'll have someone to play with.
So you're telling me that you won't let me participate in the assassination of the person who was trying to kill Kondo? You're a real bastard, Hijikata. It all seemed very calculated for murder. I hadn't realized I'd been sitting still in shock until I felt a gentle tap on my shoulder. Saito?
This will be the end of the Guardians of Imperial Tomb. If we are going to return Heisuke to the fold, it must be now or never.
He was right. If they meant to kill the Guardian, that included Heisuke. I couldn't keep sitting still, so I ran over to Hijikata. Hijikata?
What?
What are you going to do with Heisuke? He's part of the guard now.
Isn't that obvious? We'll save him, of course.
Nagakura said it as if it was obvious, but was cut off.
No. He fights us, he dies.
What? My mind went blank. I couldn't contain my heart from how fast it beat. No, you can't mean that. My voice started to shake. You're lying, right? I mean, you've known Heisuke for a long time. He's your friend. Hijikata stood up as if he wanted to push me away, and he left the common room. You're actually going to order them to kill Heisuke? So, just because he left the Shinsengumi, are you saying you no longer care if he dies or not?
Of course we care. I know that deep down, Toshi wants to save him too. There's no way he could live with giving the command to kill a comrade who was a part of our family for years.
Kondo appeared to be gripping his fist so tightly that it almost looked like he was bleeding. That alone said it all. I realized in that moment how much Kondo was suffering, how much each one of them was suffering, even Hijikata. I'm sorry for saying that.
No need to apologize. It's expected. It makes me happy, quite honestly. I'm glad people care for Heisuke.
Kondo let out a slow breath and then looked up at me and smiled. He turned to Nagakura and Harada and spoke in a low voice.
I'm asking you this, as not your chief, but as Isami Kondo. Let Heisuke live, and, if you can, try and convince him to come back. Got it.
His life is in our hands, huh? That is a lot of responsibility. What should I do? What could I do?
I trust everything's clear. If you have questions, now is the time.
Wait. Kondo turned around and looked very surprised. I haven't been given any orders. I would like to help.
This is a dirty job. This is nothing like the Ikeda Inn or Hamagiri rebellion. You really shouldn't be involved.
I'm going to let you guys go here. I hope you are enjoying, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!